Hello and welcome back to Bookmas. So glad you can make it. Thank you for coming by. If you're new here, hello, welcome in. I'm Mariah Armu. If you are returning, I hope that you have looked at the other Bookmas videos, but if you haven't, you can go back. They're all on my page, and we will be posting every other day for 12 days for Bookmas, so this will be leading up. The very last video will hopefully be posted on Christmas Eve if everything goes as planned. This has been a stressful time, but I am pushing through, so thank you. If you are here, I really appreciate it. Now, moving on, let's go into what we're going to do for today's video. So, I have 10 winter book recommendations, books that I think give winter vibes that I would read during the winter time, that I would recommend to people during the winter time. If you are a mood reader, a seasonal reader, I got you here. Trust me, trust me. And I have a mixture of every genre, just as I always do with my recommendation videos, usually, unless it's like specific genre or something like that, I got a mixture of everything here for you. So I hope y'all are ready. I am going to yap, and this time there are some that you will see here that I have recommended before, but I did try to include ones that I don't normally talk about that I would still recommend. Some of these may not be my personal favorite, but they could be your personal favorite, and that's perfectly fine. That's why I want to recommend them, because even if I didn't enjoy a book, you may enjoy the book that I didn't enjoy. So I did include ones that didn't like wow me, but I would still recommend, and that you would probably love. These books either maybe didn't find me at the right time, or I just didn't vibe with them. You may vibe with them, so give them a chance. I always still recommend books that I may not have vibed with, because it still could be a yes for you and you could absolutely love it, and you may give it 5 stars. You never know. Let's get into it. I'm so sorry for yapping. I just wanted to put it out there, but buckle up, get on in, get ready. Let's go. I do not have these separated in any order whatsoever. I kind of just mixed up the books, and what we have is what we have. I'm going to kind of go back and forth. I have two stacks right here. So I apologize if they're not in order by genre or anything like that. I kind of just wanted to mix things up and keep y'all guessing, if we're being honest. So the very first book that I will be talking about and recommending is The Silent Patient. This is one that I read at the very beginning of my reading journey. I think it was only like the second or third book I'd read. At the time, I absolutely loved it. Looking back at it now, I have read better mystery thrillers, but I still remember the plot twist in this getting me completely. Like, I just couldn't believe it. This is set at like a mental institution in a way. How do I describe this? Our MMC has a patient who is silent. No one can get her to talk. He ends up transferring to this institution in order to assist this patient in hopes that one day he can get her to talk. And let me tell you, I did not see the plot twist coming in this. Now that I think about it, I don't know why I say I've read better, because at the time when I read this fully got me. Like, I remember being like, what? I had to reread what I read. It's like one of those where it's like, did I just read what I just read? I mean, it's so good. I think what's best about this to read it in the winter time is that you get those winter like environments during this. Yeah, you have some things like you go through, but I remember specifically him talking about like how cold it was outside, how he could see his breath and everything. You get a dull timeline as well. You get like past and present, and I love books like that. I truly do. I think this was very interesting. Now, when I said I have read better, I have read some great mystery thrillers, but I will say the plot twists in this is really good. I still highly recommend this book to people. You may love it. I know it's hit or miss for some people, but I do think you should give it a chance. The next book is Girl in Pieces. Now, this, I would say you need to read it at the right time. When I read it, oh man, when I read it, it was during the winter time, and I was going through my seasonal depression, and this hit extremely hard. It was really dark. This is a really dark book. Please check your trigger warnings. There's a reason why it's called Girl in Pieces. You'll learn soon enough. I would say be in the right mental headspace during this, because I wasn't. And while it is a great read, I think very inspirational is the best way to describe it. It can put you in a depressive state in a dark place in your mind. So in this, we follow our FMC, who's very suicidal. She has been in recovery at this institution as well with all these other girls and friends that she has made. And then one day they're just like, it's time for you to go. You're finally like ready. And this is her starting over in life and trying not to relapse and get into that bad headspace and everything. And this is very beautiful, very inspirational. It goes to show you that you can go from having absolutely nothing and building yourself back up and finding a passion and love and finding love in yourself and everything. And I think this is a beautiful, beautiful story, but you have to be in the right headspace and the right set of mind. And I think that's why I didn't love it as much as I could have, because I was in a dark place at the time. But I still think this is a great read. It's very motivational, inspirational. If you ever feel like you can't make it or that you're struggling, this gives me hope, gave me hope. But at the same time, I was just like, oh my goodness, this is mentally messing with me. So just be prepared for that. Still beating. This is one of those that was not a hit for me. It was good. Don't get me wrong. I didn't fall in love with it like a lot of other people did, because this is hyped up. This book is well loved, and you may love it just as much as everyone else does. I found some parts of it to be kind of annoying. Don't hate me, don't hate me. The FMC, I think, is a little toxic in my opinion. I try to keep in mind what they go through during the story and everything. Maybe I'm just judging her a little too much. You may love her, and that's perfectly fine. That's why I'm recommending this book, because everyone seems to really love this book. And I did enjoy it. It's a good story. It just wasn't like over the top for me. In this, we do follow our FMC and MMC, who have both been kidnapped a couple days before the MMC's wedding, and the FMC is the sister to the bride. It's absolutely traumatizing what they go through. Please check your trigger warnings for this as well. The reason why I recommend it for this time of year is because Thanksgiving is brought up in this. They do go through Christmas and all that together. It is around that time of year and everything. We do get flashbacks during this as well, so it's another dual timeline, and I am a sucker for those. This book can be dark. If you can't handle Haunting and Hunting Adeline, I would say don't read this book. If you can't handle those books, I would say this probably is not going to be a book for you, because it handles similar topics, but not at the same time. This is not like a stalker romance or anything. This is just a dark, traumatic suspense romance, and they go through a lot, our main characters. And I will say the bond they make through everything is beautiful. I love the plot and the storyline of it. It's like understandable, but at the same time, I had moments where I was just like, oh my goodness, can we make a decision already? So that was like my main issue with it, but it's still a great read. I think everyone should at least try to read this, because I mean, this stuff does happen and it's scary. Shatter Me, I had a good time with this one. This is another one that's hit or miss for some people. I absolutely loved it. I had a great time with this. I found myself devouring this book. I ate it up, and let me tell you, I really hope you do too. I have realized I am a big fan of dystopian books. The Hunger Games hit for me. Shatter Me hit for me. I can't remember any other dystopian books that I've read off at the top of my head right now. I need to read Divergent before y'all get on to me. I know I need to read it. I will read it eventually. Trust me, Haley's on to me about it. But anyways, back to this book. And this, we follow our FMC Juliet, who has been born with a lethal touch. She can basically drain the life out of anyone. She is discovered and sent pretty much to kind of a prison. She's self-isolated in this like concrete room by herself for like almost a year, or maybe not a year, maybe 200 and something days. That's besides the point. One day they open up the door and they give her a roommate. It goes from there, the plot. To all you Aaron Warner lovers, I'm giving it a chance. That's all I can say. I will say this, when you go into this, if you haven't read it yet and you read it and you're just like, what is the hype with Aaron Warner? Trust me, I was there. Apparently it takes until book 3 to understand him and start loving him. So I am holding out for that. I will be reading this series until that book to make sure that I fully understand it and decide if I want to continue the series. But right now I am going to continue the series. I absolutely love this. I love this. With that being said, this is a love triangle. I hope you like love triangles. I am a sucker for a good love triangle. So I really hope it's good. Really hope so. So yeah, that's pretty much it with this one. I don't want to give too much away. I will say this is so fast paced, so easy to read that before you know it, you're like halfway through the book. And also, I want to say the plot twist that I thought was going to happen at the end of the book happened in the middle of the book, which is so refreshing for me because it makes me think, okay, then what else are we going through during this book? And we go through a lot, but it was so good. Caraval, this is another one that I really wasn't the biggest fan of, but everyone else loves it. It gets a lot of love, a lot of hype. I just wasn't a fan of the first book because I didn't go into it blind. I always recommend going into this book blind. In fact, I'm not going to tell you anything about it because I firmly stand by that. If you decide to read Caraval for the first time, I will tell you two things. One, go into it completely blind. Do not look up the plot. Do not read the back of the book because I personally think it ruins it for you. Secondly, you need to read this series before you read the Once Upon a Broken Heart series by Stephanie Garber because it will ruin that for you. I've yet to pick up the Once Upon a Broken Heart series, and that's because I haven't finished this series yet. I need to move on to Legendary. I know I'm slacking. I've heard the second book is better than the first as well, so I have high hopes for the rest of this series. This was good. I think I ended up giving it 3.5 stars. It's good. It just wasn't spectacular to me, but that's because, like I said, I had seen reviews on it. I had seen TikToks about it and everything. It's what made me pick up the book. And I think me knowing the plot pretty much ruined it for me. So I do highly recommend it. Just go into it blind, please. If you take anything from this, take that from this video. This next one, y'all have probably heard me talk about quite a bit, but I don't care. I love it, and it's the perfect time to read it during December, and that is Icebreaker by Hannah Grace. I love Hannah Grace's writing. I mean, sue me. I really do. I love the way she writes. I love the way she writes fictional men. There is nothing like a Hannah Grace man, in my opinion. And this is just one of my favorites. I remember reading this early in my reading journey as well. And it still has stuck with me over a year later, and I just love it. I don't care. I don't care. You can say I have bad book taste all you want, but it's not going to change my opinion, and this is my opinion. So, in this, we follow Anastasia, who is a figure skater, and Nate, who is a hockey player. Now, in this, we have a situation that happens to where the rink that one of them usually practices at has to be shut down, and they have to share a rink now. And Anastasia is not happy about this because she is training for the Olympics this year. Like, she is hardcore going in with her figure skating partner. And so now she's under all the stress, and now she has to share the rink with these ice hockey players that she wants nothing to do with. Nate, on the other hand, is trying to play nice, and you kind of have that reverse grumpy sunshine in this. And I swoon over this book over and over again. Nate Hawkins is one of the best book boyfriends I've ever read about. I love this book. I still think about it. I highly recommend it still to this day. Is it spicy? Yes, it is, but I still loved it regardless. Verity by Colleen Hoover. I know Colleen Hoover gets a lot of hate, but I mean, books are becoming movies, and she is one of the top authors right now that is getting their books adapted into movies, and it's because she wrote good books that got us into reading. This is another one that I read at the beginning of my reading journey, and I will say this is one that I still think about every single day. This is like the perfect mystery thriller in my opinion. I have heard that there are different variations of this like plot in other books, but I've yet to read them, so I don't have an opinion on those. But the ending in this gutted me. Oh my goodness. I still don't know what to believe. I still don't know what's right or wrong. And this is even like the one where we got the exclusive new chapter in it to help you like make a decision, and I still am confused. I still don't know. This is just a mental game, and it messed me up completely. In this, we have our FMC, who is Verity, who is pretty much bedridden, I guess is the best way to put it. There's an accident that happened, and she cannot move, function on her own or anything. And she was an author, and she needs to finish her book series. So what do? They hire a different author to pretty much finish the series so that a way it can be done and over with. But this author is under a lot of stress. So the author decides, okay, I'm going to do this. She moves in, and she noticed some weird stuff going on, and it goes from there. I don't want to tell y'all anything else, but let me tell you, if you have not read this, you need to pick it up. I will say that. This is one of the most mentally messed up books that I've ever read in the best way possible. I need more people to read this so I can talk to them about it because, oh my goodness, I need my sister to read this. That's probably who I'm going to talk into it eventually, but this was just mind blowing. Rock, paper, scissors. This is actually set in the winter time, so I think this is honestly the perfect like mystery thriller book for this time of year. This is one where me and my book bestie Shar is the queen of mystery thrillers in my world. She only reads mystery thriller books. She does not read any other genre. So whenever I'm looking for a book rec for that, I usually go to her. It just so happened that I did not go to her for this. I messaged her and was like, hey, I'm starting this because I mean mystery thriller book. So I hit her up. She is literally reading the book, almost done with it as I am starting the book. And I freaked out a little bit because she did not give this book a good rating. Meanwhile, I think I gave it 4 stars. I actually really enjoyed it. I think she gave it 2.5 or 3 stars. I gave it 4 stars. So that goes to show you that you and your best friend can have different opinion in books and it be okay. That's why we recommend them. That's why people read them. Like, this is set in the winter, and this couple goes to a cabin in the winter. They get kind of like, I don't want to say snowed in because I think they could leave whenever they wanted to. I'm almost not for certain. I don't remember that part of the story. I can't remember. Anyways, they go on like a weekend getaway. They get bad snow and they finally get to the place, and I think they can't leave for some reason, or they decide to try to stick it out for the night or something like that. This is another one that mentally messed with me because what I thought was happening was not what was happening. I was so confused and it all tied up so well, but at the same time, it's still at the end. I don't know what to believe or not. It's one of those again, and I loved it. I honestly, I loved it. So yes, they're stranded in like the middle of the woods at this place. They're supposed to be for a weekend getaway to save their marriage, and weird stuff starts happening, and they realize they're not alone. And so it's creepy. It's good. It's confusing, but in the best way possible. I think out of all the books I recommend, this is one of the like most perfect ones for winter time. This is actually one that I finished very recently for a reading vlog that I did for Bookmas as well, and that is Do Not Disturb. This I recommend during this time of year because the whole point of this book and why she ends up at this hotel is because she gets stuck in a snowstorm and she needs to pull off the road because it's getting really bad, and she ends up getting snowed in. It's just kind of perfect for that wintertime vibe and everything. In this we follow our FMC who has committed a crime, has done something, and she is running away. But then, you know, with the snow that comes in, the snowstorm and everything, she has to pull off at this hotel. And unfortunately, there's some weird stuff happening at this hotel, and she is wondering how she's going to survive the night in this hotel. This isn't my favorite Frida McFadden book, but this honestly was not bad at all. I had a good time reading it. It was addictive, it was fast paced, like all of Frida McFadden's books. So you cannot honestly miss with this. I will say what I thought was going to happen didn't happen until like a certain point. I was just like, oh my goodness, I'm calling this plot twist right now. And it's only because I had enough like evidence to back it up, honestly. Like she kind of like laid it out there for me. But everything else that happened, I didn't expect for it to happen. It was actually crazy. It wasn't my favorite, like I said, but I still would recommend this book because I mean, it's Frida McFadden. I always recommend her books. I do think this one was a good time. Wretched by Emily McIntyre. This is a weird one. I know. I don't usually talk about this one that much, which is why I'm including it. Usually I talk about Scarred, but I feel like Scarred gives like summer vibes, why Wretched for some reason is giving me winter vibes. Don't know. I can't explain it. It just does. Now, the reason why this is weird is because this is actually the third book in the Never After series. Now, they are standalones. They are not interconnected at all. They are truly standalones. You could read them in whatever order you wanted to. They are like fractured Disney like retellings. I think they're called fractured fairy tales is what they're called. So this is a fractured fairy tale. This one is based on the Wizard of Oz. So there's all these like little Easter eggs in there in every single story, and I love that. This is like a dark mafia romance. We follow our FMC Evelina, whose family is kind of in like this mafia like drug business pretty much. And then we have Nicholas, who is our MMC, who is an undercover cop going in to take down her family. It gets so intense. It's so good. Evelina is like one of the most badass FMCs I have ever read about. This girl is ruthless, she is strong, and I love her. She's so fierce. I know this isn't one I would usually recommend, but Wretched just gives those like vibes, those winter vibes for me. I don't know what it is about it, but it does. I know that's weird. It's weird. That's just a vibe that gives me that wintry feeling, but it does. Okay, don't judge me. And lastly, I have Divine Rivals. I love this book so much. I feel like this is another one that I talk about a lot, but I think this is perfect for winter time. It gives that cozy vibe to me. Like I want to cuddle up with a blanket, a hot chocolate, and just snuggle up and read this book. I actually will probably do that with the second book because it is on my December TBR. So fingers crossed I get to that. I do need to finish this duology. Like it's finally time that I do. In this we follow Rowan and Iris, and they both are rivals in this like newspaper that they work for, and it's so sweet and cute, and I love it because they both have these magical typewriters. Iris's brother goes off to fight in this like war that's going on between two gods, and she writes to him through the typewriter, and she puts them like in her dresser, and then the letters disappear, so she just assumes that they're going to her brother, but really they're going to Rowan, and he knows but she doesn't know. And it's so good. It's so, in my personal opinion, I loved it. I loved it. I ate it up. I devoured it. I love this. This is a great introduction to fantasy if you're kind of scared of like the high fantasy worlds like me. I'm terrified of them, honestly. So this was like a nice, good like intro. It's nothing too complex. The story is sweet and simple. I love it, but also the plot is so, so good. And the ending, oh, yeah, that pretty much that's plain and simple. Okay, that is all the books for this book recommendation video. I hope you enjoyed them, and I hope that you took at least one book recommendation from this video. I try to always provide a mixture of things, hoping that you can take one book from this and hopefully add it to your TBR, making your TBR list longer. So, so sorry about that. Not at the same time. Mine is always growing, thanks to you all, by the way. But thank you so, so much. I appreciate y'all. Happy Bookmas, and I can't wait to see y'all in the next one. Bye.